What's up, people? WrestleMania 41 was over the past couple days, and it had some really high highs and some pretty low lows. We're kicking off night one immediately with some excitement. Get that crowd hyped up, get that Yeet Man Jey Uso in there. That man's got some flags waving, cheerleaders coming out with him. They're all yeeting, the crowd's yeeting, and get this place hyped up. Kicking off with a bang. And classic heel dastardly Gunther coming out with nothing to him, just coming straight to the ring, getting ready for business. I thought this match started off kind of weird. You would have thought with everything that's been built up with these guys over the past, 2 months or so, everything that Gunther's put Jey through, you would have thought Jey would have been going right after this guy, just attacking him in every way possible. No, they started off with just straight wrestling, calling elbow tie-ups, wrestling, just feeling each other out for a bit. I thought that was kind of odd, but I kind of see where they were going with it, where give Jey sympathy for what he and Gunther could get in the close calls that they get with each other. But hey, I was wrong. They picked up the pace, they started fast moving, they started moving and grooving, they started chopping, and man, those chops sound like they hurt. Gunther was slapping his chest like shotgun blasts. And Jey was taking it like a champ. Man, that dude's chest was swelling up. That thing was getting red. At a point, Jey started out wrestling Gunther, the wrestling machine. And so he just said, screw this, rolled out of the ring, grabbed the world title, and was about to walk out. And Jey comes over to dive out of the ring onto Gunther, and he just clocks him with the world title. And this is where the match took a big turn. And Gunther just starts dominating for a bit. It kind of gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, this is not going to turn out the way I wanted to. I'm pretty sure everyone around the world wanted Jey to win this. That man's got the world behind him. And Uso dialed it up to 11. That dude started hitting Gunther with power bombs, with German suplexes, with Gunther's own moves. He hit him with a bunch of spears, bunch of super kicks, hits him with 3 splashes in a row from 3 separate corners of the ring. And you thought that was it? You thought he would go for a pin? No. He's waiting for Gunther to get up. He hits him with his own move at that point, Poetic Justice, and Gunther taps out at that point. New world champion, Jey Uso, finally, yeet. I've been a big Jey Uso fan forever. I really like that guy since the whole Hawaiian surfer looking gimmick thing. I really liked him from that point. Once they turned heel, that was awesome. That was when they kind of rejuvenated my love for them. And from onwards, I feel like they have been one of the best tag teams of all time. And now Jey, on his own separate singles run, has been fantastic. People will be pretty divided on this ending. I don't get it. I thought it was a great ending. He hit Gunther with a bunch of moves, non-stop, just going. Spears, powerbombs, suplexes, splashes, and then a sleeper hold. You'd think the guy would be in pretty major pain at that point, so he just instantly taps out. Completely understandable. I don't care what anyone says. I love Jey. I'm very, very happy for the guy. So we go from a really impressive match to a very formulaic, meh type match, with the War Raiders defending their World Tag titles against the New Day. And man, this match has had no build-up at all. It's been very lackluster. This feels like a Raw match rather than a WrestleMania match. It had some fun moments in there, I guess, but really the only memorable thing that happened to me was the ending, where New Day hits their finishers on one of the Viking Raiders, I forget which one, and hits the move. Xavier pins him, and then Kofi's on the outside of the ring and holds down his foot. So they cheat to win, and they win the tag titles, which, awesome, great for New Day, arguably one of the best tag teams of all time. And they go running over to those tag titles and just run away with them. It never felt like the match kind of kicked into a second gear. You know how it usually goes like 1, 2, 3. This kind of felt like 1, 1.5, we're about to get to 2, and it ends. Like, I just thought it was a very oddly structured match. And it was good, don't get me wrong, but it just felt very formulaic. Nothing I'd really ever go back and rewatch. Third match of the night, Jade Cargill against Naomi. The classic friends to enemies type match. It was very, very fun. I will give it that. Now, come on. Anyone with basic common sense could tell immediately that Jade was going to win. Jade got her offense in, Naomi got her offense in. Honestly, like, I like the story to the match. I like the match itself. I kind of started falling asleep during it. And really, with this match, too, it kind of felt like the only memorable thing was the ending, where Jade had Naomi up on her shoulders for an electric chair looking move, but she turned around where she launched Naomi upwards and like spun around at the same time in perfect timing, hit her with a power bomb, and then hit her with her glam slam finishing move. That was cool. That was a cool finish. I will give her that. Everyone saw Jade getting the win. That was obvious. But that was fun. That was a fun little revenge story. Kind of had the same feel for the New Day's ending, where it was good, kind of generic. Finally, another title match on the show of shows. For the United States Championship, Jacob Fatu against LA Knight. Yeah. And Jacob enters with this badass looking wolf mask. And the crowd is behind this guy. This guy is a badass. This dude is awesome. LA Knight pulls up to the ramp with a Maserati. That dude is looking badass himself. Bet he is screaming yeah all the way down to the ring. These guys got probably, what, about 10-ish minutes? They were throwing everything at each other. Man, they immediately just started off with LA going for the BFT. Jacob being like, nah, nah. And immediately you could just tell from the vibes and the aura these two gave off that it was going to be a classic. And it was really a great, great match. Pop-up Samoan drops, running knees, hip attacks in the corner. And they do one of the coolest counters I have ever seen. Where LA was on the floor, Jacob's going for his moonsault. He goes up to the top rope, moonsaults, and then somehow, with just amazing timing and amazing synchronization, somehow midair, Jacob is like midway through, LA just has the great enough of timing to shoot up and grab his face and hits the BFT as he comes down. That was incredible. I would have never guessed we would have seen that. That was an amazing counter. Made me scream. Just, wow. And somehow, Fatu, the werewolf that he is, somehow has the wherewithal to know where the rope's at and grab it and get a rope break before LA can get the win. I thought that was the finish right there. No, the finish itself was Jacob putting LA like horizontally on the top rope, him using the middle rope, somehow twisting his body in the air, hitting a senton. LA rolls into the ring itself. He goes running over, hits a swanton, goes smoothly from that into a moonsault, and then gets the win itself. That was so smooth. That was such a creative way to do that. That was really, really cool. I wasn't expecting the title change at all. I thought somehow Solo would have screwed Jacob out of it, either accidentally, on purpose. But no. Title change. And I love both guys. I love LA. I love Jacob. I am glad for Jacob for this. That dude totally deserves it. Great, great match. The Grande Americano against what was supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but somehow he suffered some kind of injury on SmackDown. Best wishes to him. Hope he recovers. But he was replaced by another Rey. Rey Fenix. The WrestleMania debut for both of these guys. Mainly for the fact that both of these characters just recently debuted. So, hey, good for them. Grande Americano has one of the funniest entrances I've ever seen. They put like a brown filter over the camera. They had a mariachi band wearing El Grande Americano mask. They have him playing his mariachi song as he comes down to the ring. That's so stupidly funny that it's actually like really entertaining. Now I love Grande Americano. And I love Rey Fenix. I've seen that dude live. That dude on TV and in real life moves like a real life Spider-Man. Everything he does is so fluid, is so smooth. He and Grande work great together. But it shouldn't have been at Mania. I get it was a last second replacement, but this felt like such a SmackDown match. Although I kind of have a feeling that it would have been the same vibe to it if Mysterio weren't in it. And man, the way Rey Fenix moves, that dude can use the ropes in just such a beautiful way. It got to a point where Phoenix was down, and secretly he snuck in that little metal piece into his mask, Chad Gable did, and referee didn't see it. Gets to the apron. Rey Fenix does that running Spider-Man-like move that he does, where he goes over and kicks him in the face from there. Kicks him in the face. Yeah, he did. Good job. But at the same time, you just really hurt your foot because you just kicked metal, which I get he didn't know. But ouch. And Senor Americano takes advantage of it. Rey was going for, I don't know what that move is, where he goes to the top rope and he comes over and does like a spinning cross body thing. I don't know what to call it, but it looks insanely impressive. Americano cuts him off with his little headbutt to the chest, and ouch, that has to hurt. How does he not hurt his face along with that too? He doesn't show any sign of pain in his face. It's metal. It's metal to your face and the person. And Grande goes to the top rope, pulls a Benoit, hits him with the flying headbutt, gets the win. This was really lackluster. These two could have had such a great match. I blame it on it being last minute, but I could be insanely wrong. But man, Rey Fenix, Chad Gable, El Grande America, whatever you want to call him, we all know it's Chad. These two could have such great chemistry, but man, it felt like such a underwhelming match. And now we get to something good. The Women's Championship match between Charlotte, the Royal Rumble winner, and the champion herself, Tiffany Stratton. And man, these two are coming in with style and flair. Pun completely intended. Woo! Tiffany already looks like it. She embraces it. She comes in a Barbie doll box-esque looking box and completely embraces the fact that she looks like a Barbie. I love it. Everyone makes the joke. She knows it, and she did it. That's great. I love that. Charlotte comes rolling up in a Rolls Royce. Only the best for the queen herself. Bravo, ladies. Very creative. Very cool entrances. And they just started off with straight scrapping with each other. Man, these two weren't holding back, because their rivalry has been 50% real, 50% storyline. And you can see it in this. It always seemed like one had a counter for the other, and it was nothing but big moves the entire time, which is great. Give me that Mania big match feel. I don't know when it happened, but Tiffany started bleeding from the mouth at a point, and Charlotte herself already has the messed up knee. Charlotte at a point goes up to the top rope, and Tiffany pushed her off, messes up the knee, and it just felt like a battle of which woman can screw up the other one's knee even more. We get a moonsault counter into a foot into the face. We get a kind of messed up natural selection from the top rope, but it kind of looked good the way it was botched because it looked real, if that makes sense. It looked painful. How Tiffany kicked out of it, because she just went from standing to face first into the floor, I will never know. That looked like it hurt. And Tiffany takes Charlotte, takes her in an Alabama slam position, goes over to the corner and just whacks her into that corner. Hits like a Death Valley Driver-esque looking type move, rolls into her prettiest moonsault, hits it on Charlotte, gets the win. I completely thought Charlotte was going to win this. I'm one of the biggest Tiffany fans you will find, and I love Charlotte. I think she is genuinely the best women's wrestler of all time. I thought Charlotte was going to win this. I thought it was just an easy call. Just her return, she gets a title shot, she gets the title. Easy win. But no, Tiffany won, which I'm very glad about, because prove that you are the next best thing. Great for her. Great match. It was intense, it was brutal, it was dramatic. Dramatic storyline, dramatic real-life tension between the two. makes for a compelling show. You want to talk about dramatic. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk in a triple threat in the main event where nothing was on the line, but everything was on the line at the same time. These dudes start pulling out some crazy entrances. Rollins comes in first, dressed in black leather, shooting out a flamethrower, which was awesome to see. And then the lights just cut off out of nowhere. I thought there was like some kind of technical glitch in the stream or the show's broadcast, something like that. I thought something happened. That was part of the show. This dude went from black leather to straight taking it off, and he had sunglasses on. He had a white robe on. The sunglasses were white and had like a crown-esque looking vibe to him. Looked like tree branches. This dude looked like Jesus Christ himself. Appropriate for Easter. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief himself, comes out and has a very simple but very effective entrance where he's got these white Nikes on, white gauntlets, and the white and black together just are so, so pretty. Everyone's throwing up them ones for the tribal chief. He comes walking down to the ring, and they had this all night long where they had these like drop down screens on each side of the ramp going down to the ring. And I didn't think they used it very well. It just kind of highlighted the people that were on the show until this match. Because as he was coming down, they started highlighting people from the NOI family, from his ancestry. And as he got down to the ring, as he got down to the bottom of the ramp, it lowered down and it showed his father, which was very, very beautiful to see. But the best entrance was yet to come. With CM Punk about to come out, beforehand they played a video package of highlighting his career from his ECW days to his current WWE run, and it was beautiful to see. They paralleled his ECW first promo with current day CM Punk, him saying the same things, and they work so well together with them parallel with each other. From OVW to ECW to WWE to memorable moments to Living Color themselves playing out CM Punk, and it was awesome to see. First of all, I love that song, and to have CM Punk finally main eventing a WrestleMania and giving him a spectacular entrance just like that, it's just amazing to see. You just got to be so happy for the guy. Myself, the crowd in the arena, and people online were going nuts for that. And it was just awesome to see Punk in that yellow, black, and white attire again. Such a great, great attire. So pretty. The colors are great on it. That was an amazing entrance by all three. And the match hasn't even started yet, and you got me hyped up. Great job there, guys. And the match does start. It just goes into all three brawling with each other. The tension is built for weeks on end at this point. For months on end, actually. And actually, no, for years on end. And Punk starts throwing haymakers at Roman and kind of just passes them off to Rollins. Rollins starts doing his stuff and throws him into the stairs. They take out Roman for a bit, and Punk and Rollins are the opposite sides of each other. They just lock eyes, and those two are just enemies for life. Those two lock eyes. They start brawling. They make their way into the crowd. They're just throwing garbage cans at each other. Suplexes to the floor, which was just brutal to see. So, concrete to the back. Ugh. And they make their way over to the other side and getting back into the ringside area. Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere and does that jump and dive that he does onto those two. Well, haven't seen that move in forever. But man, I'm glad I saw it because that was really cool to see. And from here on out, it was nothing but non-stop action. And signatures, finishers, Punk hit a double running knees to both of them in the corners, brought them together, hit a DDT on both of them in the middle. We got some GTSs, we got some pedigrees, spears, anaconda vices, frog splashes in there. It was nothing but absolute madness. It was nothing but a car wreck, but you couldn't look away. Rollins was going for a superplex on Punk at a point. Roman came in, intercepted him onto his shoulders, and Punk stays at the top rope, hits a doomsday device on Rollins. Love a good counter from a counter move to move into the other, where Reigns hits a spear on Punk, who was going for a GTS onto Rollins. Rollins was going for a curb stomp onto someone. Someone else hits a move on them. Punk had Reigns in the Anaconda Vice at a point, and Rollins comes out of nowhere, just spawns in midair, hits a frog splash on both of them. It was absolute insanity. The classic Reigns going for a spear, and Rollins counters it by jumping up and hitting it downwards, hitting a pedigree on him, and he does that twice. He does it twice. Punk's on the outside of the ring at a point. Rollins goes over to Reigns like, hey, we can take him out. Come on, let's do a little team up together. And Reigns is conflicted, but he starts to do it. They go for a Shield-style powerbomb. And as they're about to do it, Reigns like, nah, hits him with an uppercut. Takes out Rollins to the other side. And takes Punk, powerbombs him through those indestructible announce tables. And that thing just explodes on impact. So he says, hey, one didn't work. Let's go to the other. Goes over to Rollins, picks him up, powerbombs him through that indestructible, unbreakable announce table. That thing explodes. He throws Rollins into the ring, hits him with a spear, goes for the pin, gets the 2.99999. Rollins kicks out, and complete props to Roman Reigns and Rollins on that night, where those two were the masters of kicking out at the very last millisecond. I thought the match was going to end like 3 times at a point. These guys were the masters of doing non-finishes, had me freaking out. But like in the best way possible, in the way that they wanted me to freak out. And this is where the absolute madness drama began. If it weren't there already, where Punk had Rollins up for the GTS. Reigns comes in, spears Punk. Rollins bounces off that, bounces off the ropes, and then hits a stomp onto Reigns. All 3 men are down at that point. The camera cuts over to Paul Heyman. He goes over to the timekeeper's area, grabs a steel chair, and poetic justice is about to begin. All 3 men are on opposite sides of the ring. Punk and Reigns are across from each other. Rollins is on the complete other side. Punk and Reigns both see the same thing at the same time, where they see Heyman with the chair, and they're like, oh, give it to me so I can use it. And Heyman's conflicted. He reluctantly slides it over to Punk. Heyman gets in the ring to support his buddy. Punk goes for the chair swing onto Reigns. Nope. Paul Heyman low blows him, hits him right in the balls, and he is loyal to his tribal chief. Probably looked like the surprise face emoji in real life. My jaw was dropped. Roman was smiling away. He was like, yeah, that's my wise man right there. And Paul Heyman takes the chair, presents it to Reigns like he's doing it with the Ula Fala in the former championships that he had. Reigns takes the chair. Paul goes behind him. He does the same thing. He low blows Reigns. Oh my God. This is the most dramatic thing of all time, and I love it so much. Legit made me scream. I was not expecting that at all. That was absolute insanity. So, are now Rollins and Heyman aligned now? Is Heyman going to be the new manager to Seth Rollins? I don't know. That was just absolute craziness. But we're not even done from that point. Rollins smacks Reigns with the chair twice, goes off the ropes, hits the stomp on him, and gets the 1, 2, 3, gets the win. And just, wow. What an amazing ending. That was just absolute madness. I hate to use the meme, but it really was absolute cinema. That was straight up one of the best matches I have ever seen, ever. An incredible main event with a kind of lackluster undercard with 2 or 3 good matches in there. Alright, let's see how night 2 can compare to this. Kicking off night 2 with the Women's World Championship match between Io Sky, Bianca, and Rhea. And man, this match has had a weird build-up where Bianca won the right to face the world champion, who at the time was Rhea. And Rhea lost it to Io. Later had a rematch, couldn't get it back because Bianca interfered. And I understand why these ladies are intertwined with each other, but it felt very odd because really, Rhea shouldn't be involved with this at all. But also, Io shouldn't be involved in this at all, because really, Rhea should be the champion. It should be Rhea against Bianca. But it's like a 3-way now, where Bianca had the complete right to face the champion, and Rhea's being a complete crybaby about everything. On paper, it sounds great. Let's see how it turns out. That was an insane opener. What a match. Completely exceeded my expectations. We kick off immediately with Io Sky making a very generic entrance. But Bianca, she comes out with this rose-looking cape robe thing got going on. Got double jumpers in her entrance. And she's also got her stepdaughter who's involved in the entrance itself. Which that was really sweet to see. But for some reason the crowd was booing it. What jerks. And Rhea comes out in this Batman Who Laughs inspired looking outfit, which was just absolutely badass to see. Match kicks off with what we've been seeing the past 2 weeks. Bianca and Rhea pushing the champion out of the way because they don't see her as a threat. As they try to do that, Io catches their hands and just starts going crazy on them. She starts pulling out her Hurricanrana. She starts doing her absolute craziness, fast-moving, gymnastic-esque moves. Bianca was hitting KODs. Rhea was hitting riptides in the ring, outside the ring, and on the top rope. And it was just absolute madness from the get-go. Io was hitting some crazy moonsaults in the ring, outside the ring. And it was just some fun spots in here. This was a great opener, just immediately fast-paced action. Bianca uses her braid as a whip at a point, whips, I believe it was Io in the stomach, and oh my god, that thing sounded like a cannon blast. This had a wicked finish of Rhea trying to take out Io and just sweeping her off her feet and just whacking herself on the top turnbuckle. And so Rhea's still on the turnbuckle at that point. Bianca comes in, hits the KOD on her, hits the 1, 2, and then out of nowhere, Io comes in, hits her moonsault on Bianca, and then gets the 1, 2, 3. I was not expecting Io to win. She was the last person I was expecting to win this match. I thought would have been either Bianca or Rhea. But man, am I kind of glad she won, because that was a fantastic opener and a really creative way to finish that match. Next up, we got a street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, where this feud has been building for a year at this point and culminating into a street fight. Completely makes sense. Both of these guys had badass entrances, where Drew McIntyre came out dressed as a character from Doom, where I'm not too familiar with Doom. I thought he was supposed to be a character from Fallout, because I played Fallout like once or twice, and I thought he was supposed to be in that mech suit type of looking thing. No, it's from Doom. Apparently, a new Doom game coming out soon, and it looks badass. It looks awesome. Drew hits his pose on the turnbuckle, fire comes shooting out. That was badass, yes, but I feel like this was a little more badass, where Damien comes walking out, and we see a guitarist on the stage. I couldn't tell who it was until the graphic came up of telling us who it was. It was the guitarist for Slayer, and he playing out Damian Priest. Talk about absolute awesomeness. I hate to use the word because it's so overused, but man, did that entrance give off absolute aura. These two just started brawling. They're throwing stairs at each other. They're setting up tables outside. They're bringing stairs into the ring. They're just going all out for this match. At a point, Damien puts Drew through a table with a razor's edge, which, man, did he get some height on that razor's edge. And chairs were involved. This was just absolute chaos. There was a very funny point where Damien was laying on the floor on the outside of the ring, and Drew goes walking over into the crowd, gets a phone from someone who we find out is his brother, and does the same thing that he does last year, and tweets out, "Bored at work, lol." Takes a selfie and tweets it out. That's hilarious. I love this guy. He is one of the greatest heels in the business today. With a great heel comes a great win, because Damien goes for that Undertaker-esque style move, the old school where he's walking across the ropes, and Drew catches him and pushes him off into two tables on the outside, and we forget about a chair that was set up earlier in between the second and third turnbuckle in the ring. He brings Damien up, sets his head into the chair, and goes for a Claymore, hits the Claymore, and sandwiches his head between a boot and a chair, and gets the win from there. Man, that was a great, fun, 5, 6, 7 minute match? This absolute madness, just a car crash from the get-go. So fun. And what I consider the best match of the night, the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship, with 3 stories intertwining with each other, Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio going at it in a Fatal 4-Way match. Absolute brawl of a match. Braun Breaker is not human. This guy's throwing himself like a missile into people. Braun's just tossing people around. This dude's hitting gorilla presses on people. Penta at the point was going to hit his finisher onto Finn and had him set up for it. And Braun just slides in there and grabs them both, takes them over for a German suplex. And this dude is just, I swear to God, he was created in a lab. Carlito makes his way into the match at a point, and you know the running joke that we've been having for the past couple weeks where Braun just comes in and just absolutely spears the ever-living life out of Carlito? He does it again. Carlito's on the English announce table. Braun Breaker sneaks his way up onto the Spanish one. He comes running over from one, jumps over, spears the life out of the dude, and just absolutely explodes the English announce table and takes out Carlito. That was just absolute insanity to see. Made me freak out. That was just awesome. Now, Braun hits a spear on Penta, and Dominic sneaks his way in there, kicks him over, hits a 619 onto Braun, and he's about to go for the frog splash. Finn says nah. He comes over, pushes Dominic, he hits his little dom-doms onto the top rope, and Finn Balor comes in, hits the shotgun dropkick onto Braun. He's about to go for the coup de grace. You think he's about to win. And as he hits it, he falls off of Braun. And out of nowhere, Dominic comes in, hits a frog splash onto Finn, and gets the 1, 2, 3, gets the win. Dominic gets his first Intercontinental title. Myself and the crowd went wild for this. That's absolutely awesome. That is great for the guy. I love Dominic, and man, I'm so happy for the guy. He was walking up the ramp at a point. You can tell he was just feeling the moment. He came running down to the ring again, just excited, hyped up, and showing off that title. I am so glad for the dude. Great job for the guy. Well deserved there, Dominic. And next up, Randy Orton against what was supposed to be Kevin Owens, but unfortunately Kevin Owens suffered a real injury and is going to be out for we don't know how long. Best of wishes to you, Kevin. But in return, Randy Orton gets a open challenge at WrestleMania. So here we go with the Randy Orton Open Challenge. And he comes out, says, hey, whoever wants to come out, come face me. I thought maybe it was going to be Sheamus, maybe like Aleister Black, possibly. Rusev is potential to return. And the arena just goes dark. And then you just see a silhouette of a skinny guy who, for a second in my mind, was like, great, it's Ludwig Kaiser. I don't really like this guy. Great. The song kicks in. Say his name. He appears. Joe Hendry's there. The crowd went nuts. I went nuts for that. Holy moly. That was absolute just great. I loved it. I love to see it. The TNA champion appears at WWE WrestleMania. Never in my 25 years of life I would have ever thought I would have seen that. But man, am I glad I did. This was like a 5-minute match, and that was a perfectly paced amount of time for these guys. Joe Hendry hits a couple moves in there. He gets basically his greatest hits in there. The crowd is so into this. They're doing the hand wave. They're singing along to the song. Everyone is just insanely happy to see this guy. He is so over. It was so quick, but it was so effective, where Hendry hit his little pose where he turns to the camera and smiles, and Randy was down beforehand. He comes up, somehow hits an RKO out of nowhere, and just plants the guy on the floor. Gets the 1, 2, 3, easy win at that point. Like I said, simple but effective match. He helps up Hendry. He's like, good job, man. You did great. Good job, buddy. And as he's about to exit the ring, another RKO. And then Randy hits his own version of the Hendry, which I guess you can call it the Orton in this case. Hits the turnaround, the glances to the camera, and hits his pose. That was so fun. A great 5 minutes. A great time. And AJ Styles and Logan Paul was next. And Logan Paul made his entrance, and he was actually carrying out that drone camera as if he were vlogging. And I didn't even realize it until later on in the match when they used that drone camera and actually like flew it outwards like how the drone is supposed to do. And I couldn't tell where that footage was coming from beforehand. That was a creative way to make an entrance. And AJ comes out looking phenomenal as ever. That man had some very clean looking attire of white and blue. Those colors just went so well together. It just looked very crisp. And these two, once they got in the ring, they stepped it up. These two were just going back and forth wrestling. They had some great chemistry with each other, which I didn't think they would have. Props to them, because they really put on a performance. AJ Styles, a certified legend in the business, and Logan Paul, a 3-4 year experienced person in this business. And I don't love him as a person, but man, is he a great wrestler. Is he a great entertainer. That man knows how to be a cocky prick and dial it up to 102. Quick rant here, I have never been a Karrion Kross fan. I feel like the guy just looks generic. He's got the most generic moveset. He can cut an okay promo, but there's nothing special about the guy. I've never been a fan of him in NXT and current roster. Never been a fan of this guy. Get that trash away from one of the best of all time in AJ. And I honestly thought that AJ was going to win. I'm glad Logan Paul won. You could have taken out that last Karrion Kross, Logan Paul's friend thing out of it. Yeah, I feel like it would have changed nothing at all. It still would have been a great match. In the women's tag team championship match, Liv Morgan and Raquel defend against what was supposed to be Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but beforehand, the night before, Bayley was taken out. By who? We'll find out in the coming weeks. And Adam Pearce tells Lyra, being like, hey, you got 24 hours to find yourself a new partner. And she found herself a new partner. A fellow Irish lad herself. Becky Lynch makes her return. I believe Becky Lynch is one of the best women's wrestlers ever. And I am so glad she returned. I love Becky Lynch so much. I'm a big fan of 3 out of the 4 women in this match. And it was nothing exactly special, but it was a fun, formulaic, kind of generic match for a solid 5 or so minutes. It was good. For about the 2.5 years or so that we haven't seen Becky in a ring, man, she hasn't lost a step at all. She looks so buttery smooth in that ring. She hits a manhandle slam on Liv, and they get the tag titles. I was not expecting that at all. I was expecting it to be like a fun return type match, and just, oh cool, she's back. And nothing ever came of it. But no, they won. Glad to see. And Lyra has now become a double champ herself. She is now tag champion and women's intercontinental champion. Kind of reminiscent of 2 belts Bex from WrestleMania 35, I believe it was. Which, poetic. The main event, what this whole show was built around. Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, defending the title against the greatest of all time, John Cena. John Cena, matter of fact. And boy, do I have some thoughts on this. I have been loving this new heel persona of John Cena. I think he's completely justified in everything that he's saying. He is correct in what he's saying. And I completely understand it. He said he's gonna ruin wrestling and not give his all anymore to these fickle, unsupporting fans. Cena's music hits. It's nothing but a black screen and his name on the Trons, the ramps, every electrical board that you could find. Nothing but just his name in white text. He just goes walking down to the ring, all serious business. No salute, no big entrance, nada. And Cena was the king of extravagant, over-the-top entrances at WrestleMania. Which, I get it, play into the new heel character, don't play to the crowd. Alright, I get it. But Cody Rhodes was the complete opposite. That man had dirt bikes jumping from ramp to ramp. His music hits, that man comes out, he's got that same skull mask as he had last year, but a bit different, where he didn't take it off this time, but it kind of took itself off, where it raised up and revealed his face. Is this man trying to be Iron Man? And this kind of started off in the same way that the World Heavyweight Championship match started, where you would think, due to the rivalry, that these two just go after each other, throwing haymakers, trying to hurt the other person. No, they went straight wrestling. Collar and elbow tie-ups, headlocks, to the ropes, to the corner. A very slow start, which was kind of unexpected. Basic moves galore, where Cody was hitting power slams, and Cena was just hitting his little greatest hits of shoulder tackles, into a 5-knuckle shuffle. And at a point, Cena, twice in a row, started doing a middle rope axe handle. Pretty sure I've never seen him do that ever. Okay, I can get to a point. Build up to the big stuff. Start off slow, slowly escalate it. Makes sense. But there never felt like there was an escalation to the next level. So Cena starts getting his greatest hits in. Hits his shoulder tackles, which he hits the first one. And I don't know if this was Cody's fault, Cena's fault. Maybe it was both of theirs. I'm not really sure exactly. But Cody took forever to get up. And you could tell John was just kind of waiting for him to get up. And then he runs back, does the second one, which was odd to see because I'm so used to the shoulder tackle, five knuckle shuffle, suplex, attitude adjustment, ST, like all in quick succession. But no, it was very slow paced. Hits a couple AAs, Cody kicks out, he locks in the STFU, which I noticed Michael Cole called it the STFU. It wasn't the STF, it was the STFU. So we're going back to the old name. And Cena puts him in a third STF. And Cody's trying to crawl to the ropes. He does a little turnaround, kicks Cena off of him, and not subtly at all, the ref moves into the way and gets kind of sandwiched into the corner. Saw that coming a mile away. So I'm like, all right, well, here we go with the absolute chaos. Rock's gonna come out, Stone Cold's gonna come out, Cody's gonna use a weapon, Cena's gonna use a weapon. I thought absolute madness was about to break out. But nah, referee's down, Cody hits a crossroads for a 1,000,002 count, and no ref there. And this is where the weirdness begins. Cena hits a top rope AA, Cody's on the floor, and all of a sudden the theme song Fiend by Travis Scott plays. Travis Scott comes walking down. He is walking down in the slowest way possible. Take the Undertaker and Randy Orton's like aura like entrances, combine them into one person, put it on Travis Scott. That dude took forever to get to the ring. Travis Scott, after about 420 years, finally makes it down to the ring, gets on the apron, starts talking shit to Cody. Cody obviously pushes him off, hits him off, and hits a really shitty looking crossroads onto Cena. And I saw this coming a mile away too. Referee slides over to do the count. 1, 2. He was right by the ropes. Travis Scott pulls him out. Somehow the referee gets knocked out from this. This guy dropped 2 feet. I would imagine it hurts a little bit, but not to the point where you're knocked out. But okay, benefit of the doubt. Build drama. Okay, I get it. Travis Scott gets in the ring, goes face to face with Cody Rhodes. Cody hits him with the crossroads, and Cena in the corner. Cena has the title. He's about to clock Cody in the face again with the title. Comes running over, about to hit him this time, and kind of has like an Anakin Skywalker moment, weirdly enough, where it was, oh, I could hit him. No, I'm too good. And throws down the title. And Cena sees an opportunity. Kicks him right in his... And Cody is down on the floor. John goes over to the corner. Referee's starting to get up. Hits him in the face with the title. Referee fully gets up, calls him into the ring, pushes out the title. 1, 2, 3, and win. I was jaw dropped. Insanely surprised. I love John Cena. I think he's the best ever. That man was my childhood hero. I love this new heel persona thing he's got going on. Man, that ending could have been so much better. It was so dumb. It came out of nowhere. And not even like in a good way, in a way of like, oh, that was unexpected. Believe me, I'm glad John Cena won. I love the man. But that was not the way to win that. That was not the way to even do that match. That was not the way to even end that match. Especially those two faces of the company in 2 separate eras. And for the title that defines the top guy at that point is just insanity. You know, I'm willing to see where this goes. See where it goes in the future. Maybe the end result will be better than the beginning. This was a very divisive WrestleMania. You had some high highs, some absolute low lows, and some okay in between. I mean, just like overall thoughts on it are not a great build for every match. On paper, in theory, this should have been great. But there was some great stuff like the main event of night one, which was just absolute cinema. And the main event of night two was just, I'm sorry, garbage. That was not very good. So finally winning the world title was just great. That was awesome. And then the next two matches after that were just the definition of meh. The Charlotte and Tiffany match works for its kind of fake but also real storyline, maybe real kind of thing to it. It works for that. Which I thought the match was pretty good. Night one had a great opener and a great closer, and then kind of meh in between with some good stuff in there with the LA and Jacob match and the Charlotte Tiffany match. But night two had the opposite problem, where the main event was garbage and the undercard was actually like way better. But I'm willing to wait it out, see where it goes. If I'm grading this show, it's probably like a high C, a low B, around there. But that's just me. Let me know what you thought. Like the video, share it, comment, tell me what you thought about any and everything about this. See you later. Stay safe, stay sexy.